Hi, welcome back to Tavern Talk. I'm just gonna straight into it. What you look at Una at the side? Just what the fuck are they talking about? Okay. Once it was free from its pain, the whale was ready to talk to us. I asked what happened, and it told me it was fighting some sort of evil creature on two legs. A creature on two legs? So humanoid then? We assume. It turns out whales don't care much about appearances. They care more about all the things that have been thrown at it. What a mean way to approach a whale. Apparently it swallowed some kind of stone. Couldn't remember its black and white color and that it tasted horrible. But I thought, I have a strong digestive system. Which is if the thing. It's nothing to worry about. Rookie mistake. Don't eat something. Don't eat something like that, please. The two-legged monster just wouldn't stop attacking, so it fled as quickly as it could, trying to find its way home. It felt really bad about destroying the camp. I get why. The worst part about being angry is seeing the wreckage you leave behind. Tia, do you ever get angry? No. I am the embodiment of calmness and self-discipline. Where I come from, they got that repression. Luckily, its anger subsided when it found its way back. It thought it was finally safe, but suddenly this freezing cold began. I don't mind the cold much. I'm from the highlands and we get a lot of snow in the winter. But the kind of cold that was described sounded awful. Painful and inescapable, like it was freezing from the inside out. The potent frostbite I mentioned. It seems a curse took hold and slowly spread throughout its entire body. It tried to keep itself warm by feeding on solar crabs and cosmic squid, but that didn't help much. It just kept getting more scared and angrier and colder. Until its brain was freezing over, it couldn't think of anything other than the cold. So in its desperation, it ate the hottest thing it could think of. A star. A star. A giant one at that. It looked deceptively small contained in its belly. But apparently it was one of the biggest ones the night sky had to offer. The East Star. It ate Ferris, the guiding star of the endless seas. It did, and it helped. It kept the frostbite by the bay, even if it did not eradicate it. But as you can imagine, such a massive star disappearing did not have the most desirable effect on the astral sea's delicate balance of gravity. Yeah, I can imagine that. The whale was very confused about what had happened. But it said all the stars around it suddenly started to fall and spin out of place. Oh no. They crashed into each other, causing more and more destruction with each passing moment. I didn't understand everything it described, but it sounded bad. To label it as bad would be quite the understatement. The falling stars ripped holes in Cassiopeia's wings. To think that just one hungry creature could break the entire balance of the universe. It was hurt and scared. It should have endured instead of hurting others. It was alone. It didn't know what would happen. It didn't. I'm sure it tried its best. Its best wasn't good enough. The whale isn't responsible for the horrible things that were done to it. We should celebrate that you were able to help it instead of blaming it for its pain. Yeah, I think so too. Edithia, you're not doing very well in this popularity contest. I think so too. Did you also manage to free it from the star in its stomach? No. The frostbite may be gone, but the star is part of it now. It has become the first of its new kind, a sun humpback whale. And probably the last one too, as all the other stars the astral sea have been snuffed out. We will never be able to see the night sky again, and in turn the whale must forever live in its guilt nestled in its stomach. You're right. Some things are forever changed now. That's kind of the point of disasters. But perhaps the star doesn't stand for shame, but the pride of its survival. We shouldn't be sad that most are gone, but happy that the one that managed to make it through. Besides, we may have lost the night sky's stereo companions, but it managed to gain 2 new friends. Even the worst of situations can lead you to light sometimes. I like that. You should never be sad about finding new friends. Speaking of friends, on the way back we ran into this traveling souvenir shop. I bought friendship bracelets for Tia and I with little whale chomps on them. She didn't want to wear one just yet, so I'm waiting until she's ready. That's so nice and so cute of you! They're a hazard for fights. I could get caught on things. Sure. I'm looking forward to seeing how they look with your armor. Tia also found something for you at the souvenir shop. That's... She said it reminded her of your tavern. And now I've seen it in person, I agree. Now I'm curious. You got me a trinket? What? Wait, what? Oh, is that the end? Is that the end? Oh, that's a very pretty mosaic. The shopkeeper told us a little bit about it. Supposedly, this piece of art represented new beginnings after a hard-fought battle. Kind of like the rise of the sun hunchback whale. That's very fitting. Thank you, Tia. So... Tia, aren't you glad that Clay was there to help you? I suppose I am. You really are? You're surprisingly competent. Perhaps one might even say I could not have done this entirely without you. If one was to become extreme about it. I think someone like you could do anything alone if you put your mind to it. But that doesn't mean you should have to. I'm always happy about doing difficult things if I have help from other people. Well said, Clay. Stellar teamwork, you two. Keep it up. We do. Much more importantly, clearing our quest was not successful. Clearly, our quest was not successful. What are you talking about? You cured the humpback whale. You found out why the stars fell, and you even made new friends. What more could you want? We still haven't the slightest idea who caused all this. An angry humanoid figure? And that is who exactly? Well, we can rule out you, me, and the innkeeper. Well, we can rule out you and me. Ouch. Oh, am I just catching... It's just like... Okay, why? No hard feelings. I believe you are innocent, but sometimes evil hides in plain sight. One must not be led astray. I understand. Paranoia is a hard habit to break. Clearly someone orchestrated this. It seems too random and methodical to have been an accidental side effect. I must find out what hides in the darkness. If something like this happens again, it could end in a calamity the likes of which we have never seen before. Don't worry much about it, girlie. This is just the kind of how oblivions are around here. I wouldn't call it just another oblivion. How often have you seen the stars fall from the sky? 0 times. I was asleep when it happened. And now that it's over, there goes my chances of ever witnessing a supreme meteor shower. You should not wish to witness such horrors. Some horrors are fun to look at. I mean, isn't tragic comedy like, you know, when it's kind of sad and it's kind of funny at the same time? Listen, love, when I was at your age, I used to worry about stuff like this all the time. This weirdo over there did too. We all did. At one time or another. But I know from experience that making such a fuss about it won't get you anywhere. These bite-sized calamities are part of the natural order of things. And from chaos to balance to chaos back to balance, everything just switches around in a never-ending cycle. Sure, it's good to keep an eye out, but if you don't have to give yourself an aneurysm over it, just pick up a quest if it worries you and follow the natural flow of the universe. That way, if you're lucky, you'll end up retired like me. Such a leisurely attitude only leads to failure. And, when then, someone is always going to have to save the world in the end. And that someone is going to be me. Oh, the youth. Anyway, old lady me, got another drink for me? I'm running dry. Anytime, Muna. Are you still running low on energy? How about another strong one? You got it. Another southern brawler coming up. And I'm very happy to meet Clay. I like his character design a lot. And it's always, I kind of always adore that stereotypical gentle giant, you know, big muscular barbarian looking fella, and then he can talk to animals and he's very like sweet and caring. I like that. That's a good stereotype. Something strong for the most strong-headed lady I know. Weird way to admit you lost every argument against me. But this drink is splendid, I'll give you that. See, with one of these, your worries will be washed away with flavor. Good or bad, depends on the day. I find your apathy borders on tragedy. And I find your hero complex unsustainable. Remember, kiddo, they don't build those statues for folks who are alive. Who cares about statues? My purpose is my purpose. And I don't care who immortalizes me. No one's purpose is to die, girl. Life is much more meaningful that way. Anyway, my purpose is winning at cards right now. Good luck with your delusions. I apologize on her behalf, though she is spitting facts. It's fine. Tia, are you dying? No, she was purely speaking in the hypotheticals. I'm not sure what that means, but it doesn't sound like it could damage your armor. But you know, maybe we should listen to her advice, at least a little bit. My granny always says, with age comes the priceless wisdom of mistakes. I think your grandma's advice would be much more helpful than whatever a failed hero has to say. You think retirement is a failure? One's post should never be abandoned. If you can still serve this world, you should. Not sure if that's bleak or inspiring. The latter. She was right about one thing, though. The past is full of terrible disasters that were prevented, which means that this too can be this too could have been attempted before, if not very successfully. Knowledge of something so vile must be scarce and well guarded, maybe even abandoned. I have never come across anything like this anywhere in the Aperture's library. Granted, the Aperture has only been standing for a little over 2 decades, no? Its library can't be that vast. Many of the Order's books were relocated to a new stronghold, but I do believe that we don't currently harbor the knowledge I seek. For that, other avenues must be explored. What are you considering? We could ask everyone we come across until we find someone who knows something. Good idea, but that would take far too long. I think we should look for the Everbloom archives. Is that a book club? An ancient one. Everbloom was one of the great 7 Maidan archives. The Gaian one, to be specific. Legend has it used to be the one on each plane, even 2 at the plane of the dead. They were once filled with all the knowledge of the cosmos and grew in science every day, thanks to their fearless archivists. But then they fell to an unknown foe and have been. Then they fell to an unknown foe and have been lost to time ever since. I believe one of them could hold the answers we seek. Innkeeper, do you perhaps know where to find this archive? Nope. Not much a librarian, unfortunately. Disappointing. Could you please keep an eye out for it, right? You could ask all the scholarly people who pass through here. Of course, I can do that. Makes sense I do. I see a lot of people, and I like to write quests. Perhaps you can start by asking that bounty hunter once she's done gambling all her money away. You could ask her yourself. I would rather not. I'll take that terrible task off your hands then. Wonderful. You won't need more than a day to take care of all this, not right? I could do with a little more time. Nonsense. We don't have more time. I need your full commitment on this, innkeeper. This is very short notice. As are disasters typically, hence the vigilance. I shall return to a fully prepared quest tomorrow morning. Okay. In the meantime, you should rest. Don't be ridiculous. I have things to do, people to help, prayers to consult. Una was right. A good night's sleep would do wonders for you. I could even offer you some coupons to a beautiful swamp spa. Fine, I'll take one or two, though they won't be put to much use. If I rest now, who will it as well have faith in? I shall see you tomorrow. It's always nice to see burnout happening in real life. It's like a firework. They go boom, and then they become mess. Oh, I do know the feeling of burnout though. Don't worry, I'll go with her and make her some soup. Soup always helps me when I have a headache, and it looked like she had a big one. Do you want some soup as well? Yes, please. I'll bring some by tomorrow. Do you have any allergies? No. Thank you, Clay. Anytime. Then the recipe will be a surprise. Have a soup-erb day. I'll take some of those coupons too. Wonderful. Talking through everything really helped. Thank you. I'm happy to hear that. I'm so happy. Oh my god, I love Clay. That's a good character, and he's so sweet. We love it. I suppose he's not a himbo, but he gives himbo vibes, you know. I hope you held on to those seashells. Catching up with some astral friends might make you feel a little better. Actually, I was thinking I could use the shells to make some friendship bracelets for T and I. I want to carve them into stars. I think that sometimes you have to make something beautiful of the things that hurt you. Otherwise you're left with anger that has nowhere to go. Do you like being angry? Well, I don't like being angry, but it's healthy to feel your emotions. Me neither. But we all get angry sometimes. It's not the most fun, but it's important. Exactly. Never getting angry doesn't solve anything either. It just makes you smaller and smaller until people no longer see you as someone they need to think about. Anger has a sense of rebellion, I suppose. At least they're not scared of you. Anger doesn't make you any more of a monster than silence makes you a saint. Be a whole person, Clay. And don't be scared of who that is. I'll try, Innkeeper. Thank you. I hope you find a way back to yourself too. Thank you, Clay. Me too. Ah, he's wonderful, and I love a emotionally intelligent king. Good of him. Good of him. Oh, Scully is back. It's been a while. Well, I'll talk to Scully in the next episode. I'll see you around. Bye bye.